the O'Neills were great. I mean, that's a fact. The greatness of the O'Neills and the fact that they had so much trouble with the English, and the fact that English feared them so much, and the fact that they lasted as long as they did as quintessential Irish chieftains, in a way, is about the greatest compliment that the English and the Catholic Church could pay the O'Neills, or pay Ireland, but for a very different reason than what you might imagine. The reason why they were so dangerous to the established order of Europe and Britain was because they predated every other family, royal or otherwise, in Europe. Ireland was the only country that had ruling families going back literally thousands of years. Everybody else in Europe, they were relative newcomers. Why wasn't that honoured by the English and by the Europeans? Because it was pre-Christian. They considered them pagan. They did not get their authority from the divine right of kings. They did not come down like Charlemagne did, or Clovis the Frank. They did not go down to Rome, obtain their the right to govern from the Roman Catholic Church. And for that reason, they were unacceptable to both the European Christian Catholic kings and queens and to the English. And even though England turned Protestant, it wasn't a Catholic Protestant thing, it was a Christian thing. As you know, the English Pope Adrian that gave Ireland to Henry II, they never retracted that. The Roman popes, even after Henry VIII and Elizabeth turned Protestant or Reformed and left the Catholic Church, and even after they excommunicated Elizabeth, they never withdrew the laudability. Just think about that. So even though Elizabeth had broken away and Henry had broken away from the Roman Church, the Roman Church still acknowledged. They may have excommunicated her, but like during the time of Shane, the Primate of Armagh, who obviously was very Roman, accepted and actually preached, ranted and raved to the O'Neills that they weren't legitimate. Elizabeth was their legitimate heir, was their legitimate ruler. And it's not that they were pro-English. They accepted her right to rule and not the Irish. Now that you won't hear, that I've never heard in an Irish history class, you know. It also explains, I think, at its very, very most fundamental root, the racist, anti-Irish feeling in England. And you may often wonder, well, why was it also latent in the Spanish and the French? And it was. It was because the Irish were essentially pagan. And certainly the O'Neills were. Now remember, the other great families of Ireland were the Fitzgeralds, the Butlers, and the Ormonds. They were all Earl. They had their divine right to rule from the legitimate system of Europe. But the O'Neills did not. Nor did Granuaile. Nor did the old chieftains that never submitted. That's why I think the O'Neills were unique, because they were huge. They had enormous power.